Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back in to mattsteinway.com. Alright, I've just been on Facebook and there's a guy called Steve who's wrote me a message, and I hope Steve doesn't mind me saying his name, Steve. But I think it's something we all can relate to, and I just want to talk about it quickly. So it says, just wondering if you can do a video on this. I'm nearly at the end of my first financial year in the business and would still consider myself in lockdown mode. So if people don't know what lockdown mode is, it's that period where you're building momentum. 7 days, no day, yeah, like working, he's got 7 days, no days off, and long hours, averaging 6 sales per month with just myself. So he's doing good. The problem I have at the moment is that I love the work and struggle to remove myself from it. I feel like I'm running on adrenaline all of the time, chasing the next listing or next sale. However, whenever I take a couple of days off, only times I take off is long weekends. Every time without fail, my body shuts down and I become sick. It's like I take away the adrenaline and my body can't handle it anymore. Any advice on how you unwind and remove yourself from work would be excellent, Steve. All right, how good is that post? I think it's something a lot of us can relate to as real estate agents, especially building careers. And I don't think there's ever, it ever gets to a point where you're like, cool, just kick back. Yeah, it certainly gets easier in some way, shape or form, because you become a bit more skilled at picking the right business, and possibly you have more demand, so people that select you know you can get the job done, or they're maybe a little bit more ready sometimes, so it makes their property a bit better to work on. But I really want to talk about this working 7 days and just going crazy, building. One thing I do want to help people understand is, you have to take a longer term view at it. And it really doesn't matter, and that's sort of like the blog post I did the other day with a new direction. Sometimes in this business, because someone sells a lot of houses, we say they're successful. And that's fine in that parameter, but is it really success? Is it really success? And I know the sales, they fuel your life and all of that sort of stuff, but if you're unhappy and you feel that I get that adrenaline feeling, like it's like you can't stop. It's like, you feel like, it's almost like you're running out of fear. You're not running out of it, but you're running because of fear, like you're running. And then you commit to all of these people, owners, buyers, whatnot, that you're gonna do the best job, and then you have to deliver that. And internally, like you're constantly striving to meet this bar, you're constantly striving, and it sort of there's no break around it. Like I really understand what you're talking about, Steve. But think about it like this. If you get sick, and I don't want you to, but if you get sick, does it really matter how many properties you sell? Not at all. But so first of all, your health is the most important thing. And taking a day off, it's one thing I've learned, taking a day off because you feel like you need it, the world still goes. Everything still progresses. You're not that important. Let me tell you that right now. You are not that important. You're important in your world, but the world will still turn. Things will still be okay. All of the clients will understand. And this is something, one thing I want to share with you here that concerns me a little bit. Working 7 days. I would highly recommend you don't work Sundays. And the way around this is you say to people, that's family day. It's a day I just don't work on. It's a day I commit to being with the family. Nobody says, oh, how dare you do that? Everyone says, oh, sorry, yeah, that's fine, completely fine. No problem whatsoever. All right, and then just move it to Monday. And then what I would suggest as well during the week is come in a little bit later one day or 2 days if you want, or leave a little bit earlier on another day if you feel like it. So your body is telling you something. Your body's amazing. Your body is telling you you need to be sensible about this. If you're going to be a career real estate agent, we're talking about 10, 20, 30 years of high performance real estate. How do you sustain that? Well, you don't sustain it by running yourself ragged, that's for sure. You're in building mode, I get that, we've all done it, I totally understand it. But I think back and think to myself, if I moderated it a little bit more through my career, would it have been the same? Yeah, probably. You know, because it's about how effective you are with the time that you have, not about how long you work. So if John McGrath said, if you can't get everything done between 7 and 7, there's something wrong. So you might say to yourself, now I am prepared to work until 6 o'clock at night, or whatever you want to do, 3 days a week, and I'm going to be home by 6 o'clock, 3 days a week. The rest you can work really long hours. James Tosterman works late Monday, late Tuesday, forget that. He works late Tuesday, late Wednesday, late Thursday, and he goes home early on Mondays and Fridays. You know, that's what he does. That's how he moderates it. Been in the business a long time, runs at a very high pace, very fast pace. Produces great results. Look at all of them. John McGrath, he works select hours, his ideal week, runs his day. So the thing is also, we think that we can't take a day off, but when you do, you feel blooming fantastic. You feel amazing. You actually feel 10 times better than you were feeling before, the day before that. And you think to yourself, why don't I do this more often? And you realize that nobody really cares anyway. Nobody really cares. So, Bob Boland, another one. He prioritizes his personal life first before he does his work life. So what he says is, this is how my week, month, 6 months, year looks. Where is my personal time in this? Is it in the mornings? I'm going to own a couple of hours. Is it in the afternoons? Is it going to take half a day off every week on a Wednesday? And I'll take Sundays off as well. You've got to make these decisions first and then do your best to stick to it. But if you don't have some sort of roadmap with your time and commitment with your time, everyone else will own your time. I know that. I know it for a fact. You've got to value your time a little more. And I get that. But let's say this, for instance, you're making 6 sales a month. If you made 5 sales a month and felt amazing, would it really matter? Would your life be affected? No. This is the funny thing. If you made 5 sales a month and felt amazing, you would feel so good that you would attract more sales anyway, because you'd be so in the zone and feeling great, instead of feeling it maybe even a little bit of resentment, because you know there's another life out here that you want to achieve as well, and you want to do stuff. You want to wake up one day and not have to start the day running manically to the office. You want to get up and maybe just do your thing, cruise down the cafe, just have a breakfast with your family. I don't know if you're married, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. But if you just want to cruise down and do that, do that. Do that. Put it first and you watch what happens. Your universe will align perfectly. You will feel great. You will attract even more business and you'll learn the art of time management. So Steve, I hope that helped a little bit. But mate, you're on your way to doing great things. Just moderate it a little bit. Otherwise you'll fall over and you won't want to do it anymore. Question of the day today. Does anyone else have any advice for Steve around helping him have a more rounded life and achieving great results also? Love to hear about it. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks so much, Steve, for taking the time to ask me a question. Thanks so much for everybody tuning in. Really appreciate it and helping make this real estate world a much better place. See you on the next video.